Hi there, I'm Nikisa. I am the founder of Craft Club, and in this video tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to wrap your finished bouquet. What we're going to be doing is using a couple of the different wrapping options inside your kit to craft a bouquet that feels unique to your own piece. Alrighty, let's dive into the tutorial. To wrap your bouquet, you will need a few things. Firstly, you'll need your finished bouquet. Make sure you've taken this step and you have created and arranged the bouquet to your liking. Then you'll also need the wrapping materials that came inside your kit. So each kit has a range of different colors for you to play around with the wrapping. In this case, we have this burgundy with red on the back, we have a pink, and then we also have a black to make it a little bit more vampy if you like. Then we have a whole bunch of ribbons. Each kit comes with a range of thinner colored ribbon and then also thick ribbon. Now it comes in a really, really long piece, but you won't be using that whole long piece. So feel free to cut and play around with that ribbon as well. And then finally, you'll need some sticky tape just to tie your wrapping together. Now, the very first step is taking one of your pieces of wrapping and cutting it in half down the middle. So what you should end up with is two long rectangles, just like these. I've already pre-cut these and folded around and played with them. So cut it down the middle, and then what you want to do is fold both of those pieces in half. But you want to fold them in half at a slight angle like so, and then press down to secure. Do that for both of the pieces. Now we're going to be using these two pieces to sort of create the underneath layer of our bouquet. So take one of the pieces, place it towards the back of your bouquet like so, and give it a little pinch just like that. Take a piece of your tape and secure. This tape won't be visible, so it doesn't need to be perfect by any means, but just give it a little tape, like so. Then, taking your other piece, we're going to be putting it at the front. It's too big to just pop on the front like that, although you could. So to make it a little bit smaller, we're going to be using our hands to create a ruffled effect here. What I like to do, it can be a little bit hard and fiddly. So what I like to do is take my hands like so and pinch the bottom of that fold. So create a bit of a ruffle and then play around with how it sits. We're going to be taking higher up, so pinch the ruffle higher, kind of like that. And just play around with where those ruffles sit. When you're happy with how they're looking, we're also going to take this and we're going to sticky tape it around under the front bottom in the same spot where you stuck the back piece. So take a longer piece of sticky tape and wrap it all the way around. Kind of like if you were tying like an elastic band around the top of a bag. That's what you'll want to do. Don't worry if it looks a bit janky and messy, because we will be covering all of this up with ribbons later. You just want to make sure it's stuck. So if it's not sticking, make sure you add a couple of layers. There you go. There we go. So obviously that looks a little bit less than perfect, but the idea is that these two pieces are now wrapped and secure. Now the next step is adding another one of your colors behind this piece. So you can actually use any color you like in your bouquet, depending on how you want it to feel. I think if you were to add black here, it would add a really striking background and it would pop really well against a big ribbon like the red. You could add on the red side, You can see I've already actually used this piece of wrapping paper before, but I actually didn't want to use a fresh piece because I wanted to show you that if you make mistakes, if you unwrap it and it crunches up and then you wrap it again, that's totally fine. You can do that as many times as you like and need because it will always look good because it's all tied together and wrapped together anyway. So you can use the red side, you can flip over, it's purple, so just think about which color you like best for your bouquet. And every single bouquet, we've sort of tailored the colors to be included so that they look really cute, but that you have options. If you also have your own wrapping paper at home that you think could pair nicely, that is an option too. There's that as well. I think I'm going to go with this purple. And I'm going to put the red on the inside and the purple on the outside. Alrighty, this last step for the wrapping is really, really simple. All we're doing is we're placing our bouquet in the center point of your wrapping paper and we're bringing it together, just like so. But when you bring it together, you want to make sure that you're bringing it together as neatly as you can. So rather than just like crunching it like that, which honestly doesn't look that bad, you want to try and fold the edges just a little bit so they pinch together neatly. You can either keep the bouquet very open. So for example, on this side, I fold this side as well in the same way. It's going to sit quite open, like that. But I could also wrap it more closed, like so. If I want it to look more like a little bundle, you can wrap it very tightly closed as well, and that can also look beautiful, completely up to your own preference. You also want to think about how high you want the wrapping to come. So higher can be really nice, like so, it looks quite dramatic. Or if you want it to be shorter, you can move the bouquet up higher and can slow it down. So there's lots of different options for how you want your bouquet to sit. I'm going to kind of go with a nice medium option. I'm going to create that more open effect. The reason I want the open effect personally is because I want the red to really pop and then I want the purple to be a secondary color. Pinch it and close it. I'm going to shuffle that down a little bit until I'm happy. There we go. Lift it up, have a little look, see if you like the placement before committing. I'm going to actually bring that lower. And then when you're happy with the way it's folded and wrapped around, another thing is thinking about how you want the end to look. You can either fold it around like so that the layers really cross over, and then bring it around. It's kind of create a more pointed, pinched effect. And then obviously once you add the ribbon, it will neaten up. That's one way to do it. You can cut this so it's really short, or you can make it, you bunch it all together, you cut it shorter, it can also flare out. So there's a few different options. I like how this is sitting with that curved flare. I think I'm happy. Okay, so what we're gonna do, same thing again, take a long piece of the tape and wrap it around and around. This can definitely be fiddly, especially if you're doing this alone. If you have a friend, ask them to help. It will be easier. Oh no, oh dear. If you have a friend, it can be easy to ask them to hold the bouquet. There we go. How cute is that? I actually think, considering you haven't even added the ribbon yet, it's looking pretty darn good. Alrighty, now that our bouquet is all wrapped together, it's time to add the finishing touch, which is the ribbon. So ribbon options, we've included quite a few. We have the thick ribbon, which is going to really easily cover that tape area. We have thin ribbon if you want to give multiple layers. You can also add multiple pieces of your thin ribbon to give layers and give different colors too. That can look really beautiful. You can even add some ribbon with a thick and cover it with a thin. There are so many things you can do. What I'm going to do here is take my thick ribbon, wrap it around a couple of times, and then I'm going to secure it in the back. So rather than making it one, you could just do one really neat piece like that, tie it off the back. I'm going to wrap it a couple of times so that it does look like organically tied on. And just flip over this and tie it tight. You double them up like so. Then I'm going to add some purple, I think. I really want to, I don't know, bring in the red and purple theme that we're going for. Here, I'm going to add stripe. Same thing again. Yeah, that's so fun. There we go. Now either if you want, you can trim these tails so that they're hidden and that's the final piece. You can trim them so that they're visible, but you sort of neaten them up a little bit. That's what I'm going to do here. Lots of options. So obviously we've cut this quite scraggly. So one nice way of cutting it neatly is to fold over the ends like so. Take a sharp pair of scissors and cut at an angle so you have a much nicer end. I'm going to cut this one a little bit higher up so they're organically uneven, but oops, almost went the wrong direction. I'm going to cut this higher up than my last one so it's not perfectly even, but it looks still like, oh yeah, you know. It still looks a little bit curated. Okay, for these smaller ones, I'm just going to cut on the angle. And there we go. How beautiful is that? Oh, I'm so happy with this. If you wanted to add a bow on the front, you can actually make and tie a little bow separately, just the way you would tie a bow if you were gift wrapping. This one we've done made a little bit fancy because we have 2 layers of the bows on the side, but even a normal bow will look beautiful on the side. All you need to do is make one of these bows separately. That's the trick for making it look so neat. Make it separately, tie it off, and then use hot glue or your sticky dot to place it on the front. So it looks extra neat and beautiful. So many fun ways to play around with wrapping your bouquet. There we go.